In my critical inquiry proposal, I will discuss some important points that will benefit my major project and my practice at the same time. I have chosen to investigate about digital manipulation, ethical issues in child advertisement. I have selected this topic for inquiry analysis and debates. As you can see, this is one of my manipulated image or artwork. It was a design for my Stop Child Abuse digital portfolio campaign, and I thought that it is a good example to support my inquiry proposal, due to the manipulated images that I used for my work as a graphic designer. I'm going to list down the points that I would like to talk about in my presentation and for further investigation in the following weeks. I have listed down the points that I would like to discuss: what is critical inquiry, what is digital manipulation, issues and debates, and original questions and examples. I'm going to talk briefly about critical inquiry. This was completely anonymous to me, and I would like to make things a little bit clear. If you noticed, I've done some extra manipulation to the manipulated images. I have done some adjustments in Photoshop with the opacity, fill, and changed the layer option from normal to lean or light. What is critical inquiry, and why is critical inquiry important? Critical inquiry is, according to Richard Paul, thinking is driven by questions. These deep questions force us to examine and discriminate parts of our thinking process to improve or solve problems in a more advanced technique. About digital manipulation, the photo manipulation involves transforming or altering a photograph using different methods and techniques. Some photos manipulations are considered skillful artwork, while others are frowned upon as unethical practices, especially when used to deceive the public. In this image, the abused child photo is seen before manipulation and after the photo is manipulated. From my point of view, the manipulated one looks better and presents the photographer or the designer intention in touching people's feelings and emotions. Historical image manipulation. Well, that's a new fact. Many people think that image manipulations started with the invention of Photoshop, but fake photographs are there since the invention of photography. A good example of that, the Cottingley girls' photograph of the fairies in 1970. The girls used cutouts of white paper to form the fairies and manipulate the images. These are the points that I would like to discuss and investigate more of the digital manipulation issues and debates. I think that the digital manipulation depends on the artist, designer, or photographer's main intention in manipulating the picture from its real truth to fiction, as long as the artist does not mispresent what they are doing or what the images mean. Some aspects of the ethical limits is that people are wondering and questioning whether the images they see or stand in front of them is real or not. This actually is a huge problem nowadays for the court and jury, who would trust and believe in photos as an evidence, yet it is now easier to mispresent or manipulate the truth of the photos than it is now. Moreover, digital manipulation inserts itself confidently in logo design as well. I have included two diverse advertising images about my child abuse campaign. Both are edited and manipulated differently. The viewer can distinguish the real photo of figure number 4. I trust that this is a good example showing the differences between editing and manipulating a photo, which I will discuss later in my presentation. I have come up with original yet quite interesting questions, such as how far can we manipulate pictures and still maintain photographic integrity? Will artist designer must identify and label their manipulated images? Would it make that difference? Well, from my point of view, yes, I guess it is. How far are we able to alter an image, and for the sake of what? Through the development process of my critical inquiry, I will investigate deeply and research more widely for answers, debates, arguments to these questions. I'm planning to do secondary research and primary research. Secondary research through reading more articles, journals, and papers that discuss the matter of both child abuse and digital manipulation separately and together. Dig deeply into both topics to unify them and research more about the debates and arguments regarding digital manipulation and child abuse imagery and advertise. About the primary research, I would like to ask randomly people questions about their thoughts on ads, images that have been manipulated for the sake of showing the child abusive effects. I need to know whether people prefer to see normal photos of kids rather than manipulated ones. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to talk briefly about photo editing versus photo manipulation. I came across this topic while researching about photo manipulation in the digital age. Let me explain briefly first about photo editing. Photo editing generally consists of smaller changes that do not change the image in any fundamental way. Figure 6 shows what I have done with my daughter picture, just a minor editing and changing the mood to grayscale. Now let's move to photo manipulation. Photo manipulation is when you have gathered multiple photos or the photo has been changed beyond reasonable recognition. Figure 6 explains what I have done with multiple images text, producing a digital manipulative piece of artwork. In conclusion, I hope to find answers to my research questions and improve my understanding more about critical inquiry, develop my major project progress into a new, advanced, and more professional phase. Thank you for watching.